Chris Hemsworth and Idris Elba in the same frame again? That's all I needed to hear. Ever since that brief but heavy cameo in Extraction 2, I've been waiting for someone, anyone, to tell me that Elba's character wasn't just a glorified narrator. And now, Joe Russo has finally confirmed it. Extraction 3 is giving us more of that Hemsworth-Elba magic. No more cryptic conversations, no more shady teases. This time, they're going all in. Here's the thing. In Extraction 2, Elba's character didn't even have a name. He shows up, suits up, drops a few mysterious lines, and disappears. Then, just when you've forgotten about him, he pops back up at the end, offering Hemsworth's Tyler Rake another job like some Netflix version of Nick Fury. And of course, it ends on that classic Russo-style cliffhanger. Rake and Nick Khan busted out of prison, standing in front of Elba, who's clearly holding the next movie in his hands. Now we know that wasn't just a throwaway cameo. According to Joe Russo, the whole thing was built that way. That character was never meant to be a one-and-done mystery man. Russo even said that if you like that relationship between Idris and Chris, you're gonna enjoy Extraction 3. That's not vague, that's a promise. The biggest takeaway? Elba's character finally gets to step out of the shadows. We still don't have a name, but Russo clearly knows who he is, what he wants, and how he fits into Rake's next mission. And Rake's next mission is probably going to be just as chaotic and bloody as the last two. If you remember, the whole setup for Extraction 3 is classic action cinema. Rake and Nick are locked up, bruised and broken, and Elba walks in with the ultimate get-out-of-jail card. Do one more job. Save one more life. Survive one more day. It's a setup that works because it's familiar, but with Elba as the guy pulling the strings, that changes the energy completely. Think about their dynamic. Hemsworth is all brute force and silent pain. Elba brings strategy and that calm, commanding tone that makes even exposition sound cool. Russo says Elba will be more of a handler than a fighter this time, probably sending Rake into the fire while watching from a safe distance. Basically, he's going full Heimdall again, just without the Bifrost. And yes, it's very Thor meets Mission Impossible, and I'm not mad about it. In fact, I'm hyped. Because what Russo and director Sam Hargrave have figured out is simple. People love Chris Hemsworth punching his way out of hell, but they love it more when he's got someone smart and smooth backing him up. We're probably looking at a 2026 release, maybe late 2025 if they move fast. Either way, this thing is real, it's happening, and for the first time we're getting a proper expansion of the Extraction universe. And let's be honest, Netflix needs this. Action franchises are thin on the ground these days, and Extraction is one of the few that hasn't burned out. If Russo and Hargrave can deliver another high-octane mission, plus give Elba the screen time he deserves, this could be the best one yet. But there's one thing I want to point out that most people watched Extraction for Chris Hemsworth. Fair. He's Thor. But the best thing about the Extraction franchise? It's not him, it's Nick Khan, and she's long overdue to take the lead. In both Extraction movies, Nick owns every scene she's in. When others duck for cover, she steps up. When Tyler Rake is at his worst, she's the one holding it all together. And if Extraction 3 really wants to evolve, it needs to give Nick the spotlight. She's not backup, she is the mission. Extraction exploded on Netflix in 2020. Based on the graphic novel Ciudad, directed by Sam Hargrave and produced by the Russo brothers, it became the platform's most watched original movie. Chris Hemsworth played Tyler Rake, a broken Australian mercenary trying to rescue the kidnapped son of an Indian drug lord. Fast-paced, intense, gritty, all the ingredients of a hit. But for all the high-octane sequences, what made the film work wasn't just Tyler's journey, it was Nick Khan. She wasn't just another handler barking orders over a radio, she was the one who showed up in a chopper at the last second to save the mission. Quiet but deadly, calm under fire. Nick was the reason Tyler survived, and in Extraction 2, her role grew. More action, more responsibility, and more reason for audiences to realize she can carry this franchise. Nick Khan is a private military contractor. She works alongside Tyler, but she's not in his shadow. She's her own force. In Extraction 2, she goes head-to-head with Zurab's men and doesn't flinch. She handles military-grade weapons like second nature. She rescues Tyler, covers his exits, and makes sure the mission doesn't fall apart. What makes this even more impressive is where she's doing it, in a male-dominated world. Everyone around her is male, everyone underestimates her, and none of it matters. She earns her respect through skill, no gimmicks, no shortcuts. Tyler doesn't just trust her, he depends on her. And not because he has no choice, but because Nick has proven time and time again she's the most capable person in the room. We know Tyler Rake. Tragic past, lost his son, divorced, haunted by guilt. The first film covered his pain, the second let him try and redeem himself, and now there's not much more to explore. Nick's story, though, hasn't even started. We got a glimpse of it in Extraction 2 with her brother Yaz, who ends up dead. That's a thread begging to be pulled. What did Yaz and Nick go through growing up? How did she end up in this line of work? What drives her to risk everything every time? Letting Nick lead Extraction 3 wouldn't just freshen up the narrative, it would finally give this franchise a new emotional anchor, one that hasn't already been resolved. Action heroes usually come in two forms, cold and mechanical, or emotionally wrecked and angry. Nick doesn't fit either. She's thoughtful, level-headed, and full of compassion. In Extraction, she agrees to help Tyler, not because she believes in his mission, but because she wants to stop him from destroying himself. She knows his past, she knows his demons, and she still shows up for him. But she's not there to babysit, she sets boundaries. She tells him, stay sober or I'm out. That's not pity, that's tough love. And their relationship never turns romantic. That's another win. Hollywood loves throwing in a forced romance, especially between male and female leads. But Nick and Tyler stay grounded in respect and trust. No flirting, just two professionals with deep loyalty to each other. In Extraction 2, when Tyler is clinging to life, Nick argues for pulling the plug. Not out of frustration, out of kindness. She doesn't want to see him suffer anymore. That's a painful human decision. And when he survives, she doesn't gloat. She helps him rebuild, putting him in a quiet cabin in Austria to finally find some peace. That's who Nick is. A soldier, yes, but also a protector, a realist, and someone who never forgets to care. So now's the time to do something bold. Let Nick lead Extraction 3. So if you're as hyped as I am for Extraction 3, hit that like button, drop your dream casting in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe, because the moment Netflix drops that trailer, we're breaking it down frame by frame. Extraction 3 is about to change everything.